Se stai cercando di imparare l'inglese da zero, sei nel posto giusto. Ciao, mi chiamo Paola e ho inventato un metodo che ho chiamato protocollo per l'acquisizione delle lingue. Ho piacere di distribuirlo gratis, lo trovi nella descrizione di questo video. Se stai già facendo questo protocollo, sai bene che ti devi esporre a 3 tipi di inglese: un inglese semplificato, un inglese quotidiano e un inglese tecnico specifico per un'area del tuo interesse. Molte persone mi dicono che hanno fatica ad esporsi all'inglese semplificato perché l'inglese semplificato si trova principalmente nei cartoni animati e può diventare noioso guardare cartoni animati quando si è adulti. Quindi inizio questa serie di video per te in inglese semplificato per adulti. Ready? So today we're having coffee together. Isn't that a great idea? I already made my coffee. Here. This is my coffee. This is 1 shot of espresso. 1 shot of espresso. So it's hot. It's hot. And I like to drink my coffee in this pretty yellow mug that I received for my birthday. This was a gift, a present for my birthday. So I made my coffee, and I usually drink my coffee black, or I just pour a little bit of soy milk in my coffee. So the problem is that I'm all out. You can actually hear that there's just a tiny bit in there. Well, I just poured a few drops of soy milk in my coffee, but I want more. So today I'm going to pour some cow's milk. This is cow's milk. And this type of milk, you can see that is full fat milk, but this type of milk isn't very good for me. I'm just going to use a little bit because, see, I'm pouring some milk in my coffee, and it's not very good for me because cow's milk has a lot of sugar in it. Natural sugar, of course. It's called lactose, and it's very bad for me. It gives me migraines, so I have to be very careful with cow's milk. So here's my coffee with a dash of soy milk because I'm all out of soy milk, and a little bit of cow's milk, full fat cow's milk. Now, I never, ever put sugar in my coffee. This is raw sugar, but it's still very bad for me. I don't eat any sugar. So, also because sugar gives me migraines. So this is how I drink my coffee. Either black. So when you hear somebody saying, I like my coffee black, that means there's nothing in there. Zero. No sugar, no milk, no added anything. No other thing in your cup but your coffee. So that's what it means to drink your coffee black. So usually I like my coffee black or with a little bit of soy milk. So today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm having my coffee with a dash of soy milk and a little bit of cow's milk. So enjoy. I just took 1 sip. 1 sip. Let me take another sip. That will help me wake up because I'm still kind of, it's Saturday morning and everything feels very slow. So I'm going to take another sip. I like it. Now, when my coffee is very hot, I don't like putting my mug on my desk, directly on my desk, because I'm afraid that the hot bottom will damage the surface of my desk. So I usually use one of these. It's called a coaster, and this one's made of cork. This material right here, this is cork. So usually I place my mug on top of a coaster so that it doesn't damage my desk. I want to show you something here. I told you that I don't use any sugar. I don't use sugar. But if I have people coming over, I keep some sugar in my kitchen in case somebody wants sugar in their coffee. And usually I hand them a spoon. Now this type of spoon is a teaspoon. A teaspoon. This is a tablespoon. You see, a teaspoon and a tablespoon, what's the difference? They're both made out of metal. So let's talk about materials. This is made out of cork. These are made out of metal, right? But what's the main difference between a teaspoon and a tablespoon? The size. A teaspoon is much smaller than a tablespoon. So a tablespoon is much bigger than a teaspoon, right? A teaspoon is a small spoon that you use for your tea, for your coffee. A tablespoon is a bigger spoon that you use at the table when you're having soup, for example. So yeah, I don't usually need a teaspoon because I don't need to stir my coffee. Now, this right here, I want to show you some actions. This is pouring. I showed you how I poured some milk in my coffee. Usually after pouring and after putting, some sugar in your coffee, you stir. And then you usually lick your spoon. So stirring is something that you usually do after adding something to your coffee. Now, since we're here, let me take another sip of coffee. Oh, I just love it. I love coffee. We talked about spoons, and let's talk about something else. Because when you're at the table, you usually have a spoon, you usually have a knife, and you usually have a fork. So you have these things, utensils. They're also called silverware because they're not made out of silver. They were made out of steel or, another type of metal, but they're still called silverware. So knives, these are very sharp. So you got to be very careful with knives. And something else that I wanted to show you is other types of materials. I have two bowls here. This bowl is red on the inside and it's white on the outside, and it's made out of plastic. This one is a tiny bowl and it's made out of glass. It is glass. I'm pretty sure it's glass. So we talked about materials. We talked about plastic, glass, cork, and metal. So when you want to describe something, you can start by saying that it's made out of glass, or you can just say it's glass, it's plastic, it's cork, it's metal. Or you can say it's made out of plastic, made out of glass. You don't have to be super specific. The goal here is communication. And I am very happy that I got to enjoy my coffee with you guys this morning. And this is something that you usually say when you're drinking alcohol, which I'm not. But here it is. I'm going to say anyways. Cheers. If you find this type of video useful for your Inglese Semplificato, don't forget to like and subscribe. Mi aiuta tantissimo. Grazie mille.